Hello and what is going on, lovely people of the internet? It is HOOTMONEY here with another video for you guys today. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 Robinhood stocks to buy right now. Now, I've actually got this question before and you guys might be wondering, what exactly is a Robinhood stock? So obviously there's no absolute definition of a Robinhood stock, but my personal definition, it's a stock that Robinhood users love to buy. And Robinhood has the top 100 most popular stock section literally on their application. You can click on it and see the most popular stocks on all of Robinhood. So I took that list of the top 100 most popular stocks and I chose my top 5 favorite stocks based on actual fundamentals. Obviously, it's up to you guys to decide whether or not a Robinhood stock is a stock that you guys want to buy. A lot of people do think that Robinhood users are not the most intelligent when it comes to picking long-term investments. I'm sure Warren Buffett is not a big fan of the top 100 most popular stocks on Robinhood. So take this video as you will, but I can assure you guys that I have purchased each and every one of the stocks on this list. So that's why I went through 100 different stocks and picked 5. So I hope that these 5 stocks are going to do you guys good, and I wouldn't be talking about them if I did not like them myself, so keep that all in mind. I also have 2 degrees in finance, including a master's degree in finance, so I do know somewhat of what I'm talking about, but I'm here to learn just like you guys are. And with all that being said, if you guys would like to join my Discord community, you can use that link in the description or in the pinned comment section to sign up. And then we also have a link there to sign up for public where you get up to $70 in free stock as long as you deposit at least $1. So with all that being said, let's get right into the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this is one of my favorite stocks right now, and that is Palantir Technologies, PLTR. You guys can see Palantir is at $22.18 per share. It had a nice little day, going up about 0.63%, and it's going down about 0.27% in the after hours, which is not great. However, you guys can see we have to take a look at this yearly chart to get a really good understanding of what's going on. So it IPO'd in September of last year at $10 per share. Then ever since IPO, it rallied up, and this is really where it became one of the most popular stocks on Robinhood, and it finally saw a high during the January-February, not a bubble, but there's a big growth stock correction. It reached a high of $39 per share, and now it's sitting at about half that, not quite half, but $22.18 per share. Now, I've made a video in the past talking about Palantir and what exactly I think of this stock and where I think is a great buy zone. So I think Palantir at this price range is in a buy zone, and anything below $22.50, between $22.50 and $20 per share, that's a buy zone. And then anything below $20 a share, you guys can see briefly in May, dipped below $20 per share. I think that is a gobble up the entire turkey type play. So if this thing goes below $20 a share, you guys got to buy. That's just my personal opinion. Obviously, if you got in during this initial run-up on the IPO, you definitely got a nice little discount in. Palantir, they're growing their revenue like absolute crazy, and I just think that this whole data disrupted economy is going to be an enormous factor in the coming years. So it's definitely important that you have a data-driven company like Palantir that has close relations with the government in order to capitalize off this sector, which is growing absolutely rapidly. Anyways, we're gonna move into our next pick, and I love this stock, guys. It is Workhorse Group. If you want up to $70 in free stock just for signing up and depositing at least $1, use the links below in the description or in the pinned comment section to sign up for Public. Public is a stock investing trading application that has an absolutely clean user interface. We're taking a look at Robinhood right now. Robinhood can't really beat it with the clean user interface of Robinhood that gets their customers in and gets those people to gamble with their gamification and whatnot. Well, Public is very similar in the fact that it has a very easy to use clean interface on your iPhone that any beginner investor will have no problem at all investing. However, there's no real gamification aspect to Public. It's more of a serious investing brokerage where it actually teaches you a lot about investing on its application, as well as it being a social media so you can follow people and basically talk about stocks. And it's like Twitter, but for stocks. So I think that's a really cool aspect of Public. I'm affiliated with Public and I love using their platform. So with that being said, you can sign up using the links below in the description or in the pinned comment section. And if you deposit at least $1, they're giving away up to $70 in free stock just for signing up. So it's basically free money. And with that being said, let's get right back into the video. Guys, Workhorse, a fantastic company. Now, they have had some issues. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There was a potential short squeeze opportunity, and with that comes a lot of volatility. This is one of the highest shortest stocks on the entire market, so you should look into the short side of things as well as the long side of things, because there will be plenty of volatility with this stock. However, doing my own due diligence on this, and you guys can see my other videos, I encourage you to watch my most recent video on Workhorse if you haven't already, where I basically talk about the fundamental reasons why I believe that Workhorse is very, very, very undervalued. And I think that short sellers are not accurately valuing this company due to many different things, such as their drone technology, which is going to be over a $100 billion market. Now, they have a few competitors. However, Workhorse is the only company that is not already a giant company that is creating this drone technology. And with that, that means that Workhorse can definitely be a prime acquisition target with their horsefly technology, which, yeah, so their competitors are Amazon, UPS, Walmart, and Google. They're all making delivery drones, and Workhorse is, again, the only small company in this space, and they have FAA approval, or they're working on it. They're going to get FAA approval within the next 12 months, and they passed 45 out of the 45 test flight procedures for the FAA test on their first try with this drone. So the drone works, it's ready to go. They're just waiting on that FAA approval. And with that, they also make electric delivery vans. And with that, there's a bottleneck of production, which they just appointed a new CEO that specializes in auto manufacturing. So I think there's a lot of good things coming to Workhorse. If we go back to this 1 year chart, you guys can see it's down 33% in the past year. Now, coinciding with this stock going down 33% in the past year, the revenue has gone up 7,000% in the past year. So I think there's a lot of things going good for Workhorse, and a lot of things will happen within the next year. Very positive catalyst, regardless of whether they get that USPS contract, which they recently lost, which shows this sell-off. The sell-off was in February along with the rest of the growth stocks, like I previously mentioned, and they also lost that USPS contract as well, so the stock really crashed down. So I really do see this as a discounted opportunity in Workhorse. Anyways, we're going to go into the next stock, which is DraftKings. Guys, so DraftKings, again, I absolutely love the industry. Online gambling, it's going to be completely disruptive. This is one of my favorite growth stock companies. There's a risk involved, though, as if we go back to this 5-year chart, you guys can see that it IPO'd. It was a SPAC back in 2019 before the big SPAC boom, and throughout 2020, it has really, really risen in value. You guys can see that 1 year increase, it's up 47%, and that's not even showing the full picture because, guys, in 2019 it started at $10 a share. So since then it's been up over like 300-400%. So this thing is growing really, really fast. It is the #1 sports gambling application. You can download it to your phone if you're in a legal state, or you can download a VPN. And because of the administration changes of the past year, more states are now allowing online gambling to happen in a legal setting, which is definitely a huge catalyst for DraftKings. And if you want to make a bet on the online gambling industry, DraftKings is definitely going to be the #1 choice, as it's definitely outweighs its competitors. And I always like to say that if you're going to be targeting an industry, you want to target the number one company in that industry, because a lot of the times these smaller companies, although they're priced at a cheaper value, they won't always make it the same way that the number one company will make it. So with DraftKings, I think there's a quote by Warren Buffett that I've gone over before. It's better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. So with DraftKings, I see it as a wonderful company at a fair price. Again, I already went over how it's not the best price, but I don't want to get into a fair company at a wonderful price. I'd rather just stick with DraftKings. Anyways, we're into the next stock, which is Tilray. Again, guys, there's a common theme here with these Robinhood stocks. They are growth stocks. They are stocks that are going in an industry that is completely changing the world. Tilray is no exception to that. Tilray is a marijuana company, and they are completely expanding. They recently merged with Aphria earlier this year, so Aphria stock as well is a part of Tilray. And you guys can see my average cost is $0, so I actually got a bunch of free Tilray shares. 29. No, I'm joking. I had Aphria before the merger, and my shares converted into Tilray shares. So because of that, it says my average cost is $0 per share. But I actually have made a decent amount of money. Obviously, when we saw this spike up in February, it hit $63 per share. That's when I was really in the money, and it's kind of sold off ever since. So if you want to get in on Aphria when it's not in a completely euphoric state, this is definitely a decent time. But it is still up about 92% on the year, as you guys can see right here on this Robinhood chart. And because of that, it still could be possibly at a premium. All marijuana stocks, for that matter, are definitely at a premium, as this past year has been absolute euphoria in these stocks, and it hasn't really seen that huge legal push that it needs. Yes, a few more states in the United States were legal, but a lot of people were anticipating federal legalization, so the entire United States being legalized with the new Democratic legislation that has been put into office, and that did not exactly play out as planned. We have a few senators that are lobbying or pushing for it very greatly, but not the entire. And Joe Biden is definitely against marijuana. He fired some of his employees that had previous marijuana use that don't even use it anymore. Even if they passed a drug test, he still fired them if they used it in the past. So the hope is not as much there as it was maybe in the end of 2020. However, because of that, you can get it at a discount. You're not going to be paying over $20 a share for Tilray. You're going to be paying $14 a share, and it can possibly continue to go down. So if you're not going to buy this one now for the long term, it's definitely one that you need to keep on your radar, because it definitely is the largest marijuana company in the world. And just like I said with DraftKings, you want to have that number one company in each of these growing industries. So with all that being said, let's get into the fifth and final stock, which is ARK Innovation ETF. This is another favorite amongst the Robinhood crowd. People absolutely love Cathie Wood and her active portfolio management. I'm a big fan of Cathie Wood. I do think a lot of the stocks that she picks happen to be fundamentally overvalued, but she's going to obviously disagree with that because she manages the funds. She wants those funds flowing in to her ETF. And you guys can just see in the past 5 years, it's up 480%. In the past year, it's up 47%. So in the past year, it's about the same as the S&P 500 at this point. You guys can see the peak, though, in February. So we've been talking about that peak. That is a key thing about these Robinhood stocks. A lot of them saw their peaks in February. You can say the same thing about Tilray. DraftKings is actually an exception to this one. Palantir as well. In February, it saw its peak. So you guys really need to pay attention to that, because these things come in cycles. They all kind of move similarly. So if you are making a huge portfolio of all of these stocks, you're going to want to make sure you're diversified with non-Robinhood stocks, because if Robinhood stocks all decide to crash like they did in February, you're going to be hurting all around. But if you have other stocks such as dividend stocks, S&P 500 funds, etc., boring boomer stocks, as they say, that can diversify your portfolio, and it can really help you guys out. Anyways, guys, the ARK Innovation ETF, you can do your own research on this ETF. It's basically a diversified growth stock portfolio that invests in innovation, disruptive innovation, might I add. So if you believe in the future of technology, this is an ETF that you really want to hold on to. Anyways, guys, that's about it for the video. Those were the 5 Robinhood stocks to buy right now here in August 2021. I had a pleasure. I had a great time making this video for you guys. If you guys enjoyed, if you guys learned something today, make sure you leave that like on the videos. Liking the video is the #1 thing you can do to help me out here on this channel. And you guys can always join my Discord using those links below, as well as sign up for Public, where you get up to $70 in free stock just for signing up and depositing at least $1. Guys, that's about it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Peace.